You have heard it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. Jesus points out when he says, but I tell you, that there's a flaw in this saying. This is actually not a command from the Old Testament. It doesn't come from the Torah. It's something that the scribes and Pharisees were teaching at the time, because the Old Testament taught that we're to love what is good and hate what is evil. We're to love what God loves and hate what God hates. But also in the Old Testament, it says, love your enemies. We read from Proverbs this morning, right? Somehow in this teaching at the time, this got conflated. It got confused. These two principles that seem to line up. Well, if I love what God loves and hate what God hates, then I should love those who are his friends and hate those who are his enemies, right? Sounds good? Jesus says, no, that's incorrect. That is not what is taught. That is not what is taught in the law at all. So he corrects it. He says this is a perversion, in other words. So he says, it is said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, Jesus in his authority is issuing a correction. I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven.